In a world where reality is as fragile as glass, two titanic creatures clashed in a desolate landscape that bore witness to countless battles, each more cataclysmic than the last. The air crackled with tension as SCP-682, the infamous unkillable reptilian monstrosity, stood ready, its thick, scaly body gleaming under a brooding sky, the sun obscured by swirling clouds of ash and dust. Across from it loomed its challenger, a corrupted, purple-eyed Indominus Rex level 40, its eyes glowing with a cosmic hue born from radioactive meteor exposure. The creature had evolved beyond its primal form, developing a metallic endoskeleton that enhanced its vicious claws and teeth. The ground trembled as it unleashed a roar that echoed through the valley, signaling the start of a battle that would shake the very foundations of their world. SCP-682 responded with a guttural growl, activating its own multitude of green glowing eyes, each orb pulsating with a menacing energy. The contrast in their appearances signaled a coming storm. They were not merely beasts, they were embodiments of chaos, both driven by primal instincts to annihilate the other. In a blur, the Indominus Rex lunged forward, using its newfound cosmic abilities to sprint with blinding speed. It crashed into SCP-682, propelling the monstrosity into a rocky wall, where stone and debris shattered upon impact. With metallic claws gleaming in the dim light, the Indominus slashed at SCP-682's thick skin, leaving deep gashes as the environment around them deteriorated further. But SCP-682 was relentless and far too resilient. With a powerful heave, it pushed back, dodging another strike and retaliating with its bladed tail, creating a gust of wind that momentarily distracted its opponent. The indomitable reptile was swift, charging again, this time predicting its challenger's movements. It lunged forward, claws raking across scales, yet the Indominus, ever adaptive, recovered almost instantly, its body regenerating as it fired a counterattack. The battlefield erupted into a furious exchange of blows as the two titans danced through the debris-strewn landscape, each attempt to outmaneuver the other rattling the ground beneath them. SCP-682's sharp claws slashed through the air, meeting the metallic talons of the corrupted Indominus in a wild clash that sent shockwaves rippling for miles. It was a violent ballet, a mix of fury and desperation, as the two monsters utilized every ounce of their strength and cunning. Suddenly, the Indominus unleashed an energy wave, emanating from its glowing skull, a torrent of purples and shadows focusing into a devastating beam aimed straight for SCP-682. The creature barely dodged, feeling the heat of the attack as it tore through the air where it had just been. In that instant, SCP-682 retaliated, using its own energy to launch a counterstrike. The clash of energy illuminated the skies above, each explosion causing the surrounding mountains to tremble. As the battle dragged on, both beasts began to show signs of exhaustion. SCP-682's scales were marred with battle scars, while the Indominus's glowing eyes flickered, hinting at the strain of its continuous regeneration. Dust and debris filled the air, a dense fog that seemed to echo the chaos of their struggle. They dashed, collided, and fought with a ferocity that had never before been seen, a display of primal power that left the world around them trembling. Time blurred as they exchanged blow after blow, teeth on scales and claws against flesh, until both titans found themselves panting, fatigue creeping into their limbs like a creeping shadow. Each of them seemed to sense that this battle could never truly end. They were forged from violence, forever compelled to clash. But exhaustion takes its toll, and as they stood on the precipice of their limits, the ground quaked beneath their feet. In a final, desperate push, they charged at one another, filling the landscape with piercing roars that harmonized into a thunderous crescendo. With one last clash of sharp claws and merciless bites, they sent shockwaves echoing across the continent, a cataclysmic end to an epic struggle. But when the dust settled, silence swept over the battlefield. SCP-682 and the Indominus Rex level 40 lay motionless, their bodies hidden beneath layers of swirling smoke and debris, a testament to the violent dance of fate they had just performed. Together they created a void, an absence, where titans once battled, leaving behind only echoes of their struggle as the winds whispered through the destruction, obscuring their legacy beneath the shroud of dust and memory. In this theater of chaos, a new myth was born, and the land itself would remember the day when the unkillable met its match. In a desolate landscape, scarred by past battles and littered with remnants of shattered mountains, a foreboding tension hung in the air, the remnants of an ancient cataclysm, glowing with the fading embers of past conflict, served as the stage for a confrontation that would shake the very foundations of existence. Here, in the twilight of a dying world, SCP-682, the Unkillable, faced an adversary that rivaled his own legendary ferocity, the corrupted purple-eyed Indominus Level 40. SCP-682, with his thick, stylishly scaled body, radiated an ominous power, every ridge of his metallic endoskeleton glinting with menace. His myriad of green, glowing orbs, eyes without pupils, flared intensely, casting an ethereal hue on the chaos around him. Opposite him, the Indominus, forged in the cosmic fires of a radioactive meteor, glimmered with an ominous purplish glow. His eyes, pulsating with a malevolent energy, flickered like celestial stars against a backdrop of despair. As the two titans sized each other up, the earth beneath their feet trembled in anticipation. With an unearthly sound, the Indominus dashed forward, propelled by the neon trails of energy snaking around him. He slammed SCP-682 against a rocky wall, his metallic claws slicing through the thick scaly skin of the reptilian titan, sending pieces of rock and debris flying. But SCP-682 was not so easily overcome. With a powerful shove, he sent the Indominus staggering backward. It recalibrated, unleashed in a burst of raw energy, but SCP-682 was already in motion, dodging the onslaught with uncanny speed. Steel-like claws and sharp teeth collided with flesh and bone, each blow echoing like thunder. The battlefield became a whirlwind of violence. Each clash generated shockwaves powerful enough to split the very landscape, as the titans engaged in a ferocious ballet of destruction. SCP-682's bladed tail, sharp as a razor and entwined with green energy, swung down toward the Indominus, while the corrupted behemoth retaliated with a series of swift and ruthless strikes, each gleaming claw a harbinger of devastation. With every exchange, both creatures demonstrated their unmatched ability to regenerate. As jagged claws scraped against hardened scales, bursts of adrenaline-fueled energy cascaded between them, fueling their powers and heightening their ferocity. The air crackled with energy, the vibrant hues of their bodies morphed the very atmosphere into a swirling tempest of chaos. Then, in a calculated strike, the Indominus unleashed a barrage of purple energy waves, the force of which threatened to engulf SCP-682. Fighting against the current of destruction, 682 harnessed all his might, using his own green energy waves to combat the incoming onslaught, causing a cataclysmic explosion that shook the ground beneath them. The two titans fell back, momentarily separated, both panting from exhaustion yet ignited with an insatiable thirst for dominance. Dust and debris swirled around them, creating a haze that masked their injuries but could not obscure the will to fight. Yet, despite their monumental durability, fatigue began to weigh heavily on their limbs, their legendary prowess being tested beyond its limits. The battlefield had turned into a cacophony of roars and screeches. SCP-682, his body battered yet unyielding, prepared to unleash a final series of strikes. The Indominus, channels of purple energy thrumming with raw power, donned a look of feral determination. Just as both seemed poised to strike decisively, they launched themselves at each other in a dramatic culmination. Of speed and fervor, an epic clash that reverberated across the melded wasteland. The instant they collided, the shock waves pulsed outward, blindingly bright and impossibly loud. The ground cracked and buckled beneath them, a testament to their existence. For a moment, time itself seemed to hold its breath as neither monster relented, exchanging blows that sent pieces of earth flying and ripples of energy across the realm. But as the dust began to settle, the glow of their vicious energies faded. Exhausted and seriously injured, the Titans staggered. They could feel their energies waning, the rush of battle fading into an agonizing realization of mutual exhaustion. With a final, body-shaking clash that could be heard for miles, both SCP-682 and the corrupted Indominus crumpled, their mighty forms collapsing into the ground, lost in an enveloping fog of dust and smoke. The battlefield remained silent, barely echoing the once boisterous roars that heralded their extraordinary clash. As smoke billowed and settled, it veiled the two fallen beasts, who, motionless and defeated, lay silent in their monument to an epic struggle, two titans whose destinies would forever be intertwined in the annals of catastrophe. And thus, the battle concluded, not in triumph, but rather in a mutual recognition of strength and resilience, hidden beneath the shrouded remnants of an epic confrontation that would echo in forgotten histories long after the world had turned to dust. The realm sighed. A cloud of dust veiling the aftermath of colossal fury. Where once stood titans of unimaginable power, now lay the quiet aftermath, a memory etched into the very fabric of existence.